Hello, welcome. Today we are going to be looking at parts of speech. Parts of speech. This is a basic topic in English language. And if you're going to be sitting for WAEC, JAMB or NACO English language, you are supposed to know the basics. And parts of speech is what we are going to be looking at today. Very, very important. When you make a statement like, Obi asked for his food. This is a simple statement that you can identify the various parts. You can say that Obi here represents a noun because a noun is the name of a person, place, or thing. Ask is the action, so it is a verb. You understand? So your ability to identify these various parts of this speech or statement or sentence is what we are going to be learning in parts of speech. We can have noun, we can have pronoun, we can have verb. You can also have adjective, you can have adverb. So we're going to be looking at these parts of speech so that whenever you see any word, you are going to be able to tell me the part of speech that it is, whether it is a noun or a pronoun or a verb or an adverb or an adjective or any other part of speech. So, first of all, let's look at the first one, a noun. What is a noun? What is a noun? A noun is the name of a person, place, thing, animal, state or condition. Now, anytime you see a noun, it can always be a label for a person, a thing, a place, quality or state or condition. Examples of noun. My name, Augustine, is a noun. Ada is a noun. Musa is a noun because both of them are names of persons. Abuja is a name of a place. The city where we are in here, Abuja. So it's the name of a place, so it's also a noun. Gambia is the name of a country, so it's also a noun. Chalk is the name of something that you use in writing, it's also a noun. Peace is the name of a state or condition of mind where you are very calm. Honesty is the state of being truthful, and that is also a noun. So whenever you have a name, a label for something, we call it a noun. So these are all examples of noun. So now, whenever I make a speech, you should be able to identify the noun that is there. Now, if the noun is a proper noun is when you have the name of a person, or things like month and days, their first letter is always a capital letter, very, very important. See, this one is small letter, this is small because they are not proper nouns. But the proper nouns have their first letter as capital letter. Now we look at a pronoun. What is a pronoun? A pronoun is any word that you can use to replace a noun or any word that you can use in place of a noun. Now, let's look at this statement. Obi asked for Obi's food. Obi asked for Obi's food. To make this statement very okay and nicer, you can say Obi asked for his food. Instead of Obi's, you now replace this very noun. I told us that the name of a person is always a noun. You replace it with another word, his. This his is a pronoun. So any word that you can use to replace a noun is a pronoun. Other examples of pronouns are his, her, us, them, we. Instead of saying I and you understand? We. All those representations, they are known as pronouns. Now we look at a verb. What is a verb? A verb is an action word. It tells us what the noun or pronoun is doing, or what the noun or pronoun does. You can say, Ekene teaches. So what do? I teach. So that teach is my action. What am I doing now? I'm talking. That's action, verb. So whenever you see things that expresses action, we call it verb. So we'll say now, Obi drinks a cup of tea. So what is the verb here? Drinks. What is the noun? Obi drinks a cup of tea. It rains heavily in Abuja. Rains, that's the action. Rain, falling down. Rain is the action. So that these two are verbs. Now, what is an adverb? An adverb is a word that qualifies any word that qualifies a noun, any words that qualifies a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. So that is an adverb. An adverb is a word that qualifies a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. Now, when you look at this statement, it rains heavily in Abuja. Heavily is telling us how it rains. So that word that's telling us how the verb performs, that word that qualifies the verb here is rains. But how does it rain? Does it rain slowly or sparsely? It rains heavily. It's telling us how the raining occurs. So that word that tells us how the verb performs or that qualifies the verb is known as adverb. So this heavily here is adverb. It rains in Abuja. How does it rain? Heavily. So the word that expresses or that explains to us how the verb works is known as adverb. Whereas adjective is a word that tells us more about the noun or pronoun. So you see the difference between the adverb and the adjective. Where the adverb tells us about the verb, adjective, or another adverb, the adjective tells us about noun or pronoun. Let's take an example. You say, Obi is a good boy. So it's telling us about Obi, it's qualifying Obi. Good here is qualifying Obi, it's telling us about Obi. So this is an adjective. So anything that tells you more about the noun, or even if you say he is a good boy, he is a nice person. He's a nice person. Nice is trying to tell you more about this pronoun, he. So this is also an adjective. So whenever the word is qualifying a noun or a pronoun, call it adjective. But whenever the word is qualifying a verb, call it adverb, or is qualifying another adjective or adverb, call it adverb. Now, it is very important that you also note that there are different types of adverb. We have the adjunct that tells us when, why, how. All of them are under this adverb. Now, there are also different types of nouns. You have the proper noun, you have the collective nouns, and other types. You have different types of pronouns. So in subsequent lectures, we are going to be digging deep into this. We're going to be learning about conjunction and prepositions, so that anytime you make a long statement, you should be able to identify the various parts of speech. Hello, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about stress in English language. Stress is very, very important in English language. If you're going in for JAMB, stress is one of the sections that will be coming out in the questions that you're supposed to answer. So what is stress? How do you determine the syllables where the stress is placed on in a word? For you to understand stress very well, first of all, you need to know about syllable. We need to discuss syllable. What is syllable? When you pronounce an English word, the sound or the pronunciation that is done in a go, we call it syllable. Let's say you say man. Man has one syllable. When you have a word like effort, one syllable, fort, second syllable. So very, very importantly, you need to know how these pronunciations are done. So syllable is what you have when you have a word. The part of the word that you can pronounce in a one single heartbeat or in a one single go is a syllable. So we're going to demonstrate this with an example. Now, stress cannot be described without first explaining syllable. Now, what is a syllable? A syllable is a part of a word that can be produced or pronounced at one heartbeat. In every syllable, there must be a vowel sound. Very, very important. In every syllable, there must be a vowel sound. Now, let's take a look at this to know what a syllable is. If you want to pronounce this word, man, at one go, man, girl, or girl, boy, good, they are monosyllabic. So you pronounce them at one heartbeat. Now, this one, effort, you can draw a line through here. This is effort, 2 syllables. Monday, English. You see, all these ones are bisyllabic, or you can say bisyllable. These ones are monosyllable because you just say man, girl, boy, good, bisyllable, effort, Monday, English. Now you come to this one, you have recover, 3 syllables. Recover, beautiful, 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 3 syllables. Personnel or personal, 3 syllables. So if a word is not monosyllabic or bisyllabic, once it's from 3 upwards, we say that it is polysyllabic or polysyllable. So I believe now you understand what syllable is. So having understood what syllable is, that's where you can easily understand what stress is now. Now, when you pronounce this word effort, which one do you pronounce louder than the other? The one you pronounce louder than the other in these two parts of this word, is it the A that is louder or the fort? The one that is louder is where the stress is on. So that's why I say when one syllable is pronounced louder than the other, we say it is the stressed syllable. So in JAMB English language or WAEC English language, where you have syllable as questions, your duty as a student is to pick out the syllable with the stress. So in subsequent lessons and classes, I will be teaching you how to pick out the syllable with the stress so that you can get the right answer. So in subsequent classes, I will be giving you the method you use in identifying to know whether it is this 4 syllable, mon or day, that the stress word is. And let's say we have this Monday. We are going to have something like this, mon. If the second syllable is where the stress is, it's going to be written in capital letters. So you have something like this, Monday. If it is in the first syllable, we now have it like this, Monday. So how you know the stress word is the one with the capital letter. So, but for you to pick out whether this is the right way to stress this word or this, that is what I'll be teaching you in subsequent classes, how to pick out the syllable with the stress. So in subsequent classes, we're going to be looking at this. And by the time we are done with these lessons in stress, you should be able to pick out the right stress syllable in a word in your JAMB exams and your WAEC exams. Thank you and God bless you. Please hit the subscribe button. Support our channel in any way that you can. Thank you. God bless you. See you next time. Hello, welcome. Today we are going to be looking at how to pick out the syllable, where to put the stress. How do we pick out the syllable? How do we place the stress? Number one, you need to determine the number of syllables that are in the word that you're considering. So when you now determine it, then you know the right rule to apply. So having determined the number of syllables, let's say you have 2 syllables in a word, 2 syllables in a word. How do you determine the syllable that will have the stress? Number one category here is that there are words that behave differently. When they come as verb, you put the syllable in the second, you put the stress in the second syllable. But when they come as noun, you put this stress in the first syllable. So first of all, determine how many syllables in the word. So all these words have two syllables. Why do they have two syllables? Because you produce them in two movements. You say insult, object, increase, record, export. But now, how do you know that you need to stress this one? The one written in capital letter is the stressed part, or is the stressed syllable. How do you know how to pick it? Now, when these words are pronounced, or when they are used as verbs, they are pronounced differently from when they are used as nouns. So now, if you're using this as a verb, the right pronunciation is insult, insult. But if you're using it as a noun, the right pronunciation is insult. This one, insult, insult. You are insulting me. This thing you're giving me is insult, 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 insult. You're giving me insult. You are here to insult me. Object. I object what you're saying. This is an object. I object what you're saying. This is an object. So here, object, 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 object. Increase my minimum wage. Increase the minimum wage. Increase the minimum wage. This is actually an increase. This is actually an increase. Bring that book so that you can record. Bring that book so that you can record yesterday's event. This is the record of what happened yesterday. We export crude oil. Here in Nigeria, we export crude oil. Wow. Cocoa is an export for us or for them in Ghana. So that is how you do the pronunciation, and the way you pronounce it, you pronounce it actually affects where the stress is put. So here we put the stress in the second syllable throughout. Whenever two syllabic words are used as verb, but we'll put the stress in the first syllable when two syllabic words are used as nouns. Very, very important. So that is the category one that we just checked out now. In subsequent classes, we're going to be checking out other categories. Now, this is also very important to know that if a word is a monosyllabic word, that is, if the word has only one syllable, then the stress is on the whole of the word. But here we're considering words that are bisyllabic. So thank you. Please hit the subscribe button immediately so that any video that we release, you'll be able to get them. We'll give very lectures and videos concerning courses that you'll be taking in your JAMB, in your WAEC, in your GC, in your NICO. So for you to be able to get our videos, so that when we release them, please hit the subscribe button and also hit the bell. Anytime we drop any video, you just be the first to get them, study with them, give them to your younger ones who are planning to sit for exams. Use them for your kids that are in SS1 so that they will start learning immediately with the standard that we are giving. So that by the time they get to SS3, by the time they are about writing exams, external exams, they will be very, very confident. In our YouTube page also, in our YouTube channel, we have exercises, both JAMB past questions, WAEC past questions. You read through all this, you study them so that you learn a lot. If you have any questions, drop them on the comment section. Once you scroll down, you see comment section. If you have any questions, if you have videos that you want me to work on for you, put them there so that when I read through the comments, I will know what you need. And once I know because I'm actually here to serve you better and make sure that you get all the most of the things that you need in the way that you need them. Thank Hello, welcome. Today we're going to be